Hi, everybody, and welcome back for another chapter of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj's I Am That. And today we will be looking at chapter 74. Chapter 74. You are like a child that says, "Prove that the sugar is sweet, and then only I shall have it." The proof of the sweetness is in the mouth, not in the sugar. To know it is sweet, you must taste it. There is no other way. Of course, you begin by asking, is it sugar? Is it sweet? And you accept my assurance until you taste it. Then only all doubts dissolve, and your knowledge becomes firsthand and unshakable. I do not ask you to believe me. Just trust me, enough to begin with. Every step proves or disproves itself. You seem to want the proof of truth to precede truth. And what will be the proof of the proof? You see, you are falling into a regress. To cut it, you must put a stop to asking for proofs and accept, for a moment only, something as true. It does not really matter what it is. It may be God, or me, or your own self. In each case, you accept something or somebody unknown as true. Now, if you act on the truth you have accepted, even for a moment, very soon you will be brought to the next step. It is like climbing a tree in the dark. You can get hold of the next branch only when you are perched on the previous one. In science, it is called the experimental approach. To prove a theory, you carry out an experiment according to the operational instructions left by those who have made the experiment before you. In spiritual search, the chain of experiments one has to make is called yoga. There are so many yogas. Which to choose? Of course, every yoni will suggest the path of his own attainment as the one he knows most intimately. But most of them are very liberal and adapt their advice to the needs of the inquirer. All the paths take you to the purification of the mind. All the paths take you to the purification of the mind. The impure mind is opaque to truth. The pure mind is transparent. Truth can be seen through it easily and clearly. You do not realize that your present waking state is one of ignorance. Your question about the proof of truth is born from ignorance of reality. You are contacting your sensory and mental states in consciousness at the point of I am, while reality is not mediated, not contacted, not experienced. You are taking duality so much for granted that you do not even notice it, while to me, variety and diversity do not create separation. Variety and diversity do not create separation. You imagine reality to stand apart from names and forms, while to me, names and forms are the ever-changing expressions of reality and not apart from it. You ask for the proof of truth, while to me, all existence is the proof. You separate existence from being and being from reality, while to me it is all one. However much you are convinced of the truth of your waking state, you do not claim it to be permanent and changeless, as I do when I talk of mine. Yet, I see no difference between us, except that you are imagining things, while I do not. I see no difference between us, except that you are imagining things, while I do not. We are imagining separation, while Nisargadatta does not. For him, there can be variety and difference, of course, man, woman, hot, cold, day, night, but no separation. Variety and difference, but no separation. Until you investigate, I am not accusing you of anything. I am only asking you to question wisely. Instead of searching for the proof of truth, which you do not know, go through the proofs you have of what you believe to know. You will find you know nothing for sure. You trust on hearsay. To know the truth, you must pass through your own experience. Where is the dwelling place of truth, where you could go in search of it? And how will you know that you have found it? What touchstone do you bring with you to test it? You are back at your initial question. What is the proof of truth? There must be something wrong with the question itself, for you tend to repeat it again and again. Why do you ask, what are the proofs of truth? Is it not because you do not know truth firsthand and you are afraid that you may be deceived? You imagine that truth is a thing which carries the name truth, and that it is advantageous to have it, provided it is genuine. Hence your fear of being cheated. You are shopping for truth, but you do not trust the merchants. You are afraid of forgeries and imitations. I am not afraid of being cheated. I am afraid of cheating myself. But you are cheating yourself in your ignorance of your true motives. You are asking for truth, but in fact, you merely seek comfort, which you want to last forever. Now, nothing, no state of mind can last forever. In time and space, there is always a limit, because time and space themselves are limited. And in the timeless, the words forever have no meaning. The same with the proof of truth. In the realm of non-duality, everything is complete, its own proof, meaning, and purpose. Where all is one, no supports are needed. Where all are one, no supports are needed. You imagine that permanence is the proof of truth, that what lasts longer is somehow more true. Time becomes the measure of truth. And since time is in the mind becomes the arbiter and searches within itself for the proof of truth. A task altogether impossible and hopeless. You are holding on to the need for a proof, a testimony, an authority. You still imagine that truth needs pointing at and telling you, look, here is truth. It is not so. Truth is not the result of an effort, the end of a road. Truth is here and now, in the very longing and the search for it. It is nearer than the mind and body, nearer than the sense I am. You do not see it because you look too far away from yourself, outside your innermost being. You have objectified truth and insist on your standard proofs and tests, which apply only to things and thoughts, things that are perceivable and conceivable, physical or mental, but the truth is neither of these. All I can make out from what you say is that truth is beyond me, and I am not qualified to talk about it. You are not only qualified, but you are truth itself. Only you mistake the false for the true. The discovery of truth is in the discernment of the false. You can know what is not. What is, you can only be. Knowledge is relative to the known. In a way, it is the counterpart of ignorance. Where ignorance is not, where is the need of knowledge? By themselves, neither ignorance nor knowledge have being. They are only states of mind, which again is but an appearance of movement in consciousness, which is in its essence immutable. Is truth within the realm of the mind or beyond? It is neither. It is both. It cannot be put into words. It is true that it often covers sheer ignorance. The mind can operate with terms of its own making. It just cannot go beyond itself. That which is neither sensory nor mental, and yet without which neither sensory nor the mental can exist, cannot be contained in them. Do understand that the mind has its limits. To go beyond, you must consent to silence. To go beyond the mind, you must consent to silence. The mind is full of thoughts and busyness. So you must shift your attention and your focus away from the mind to the ever-present silence and stillness, and wait and abide there. This is where you will experience the truth of your own true nature. Everything comes out of silence. Everything returns to silence. Silence is. Awareness is. Beingness is. They do not come and they do not go. Nisargadatta says, you keep looking for truth outside of yourself, in physical things, in mental things, but the truth can never be found in these changing objects. The truth is closer to you. It's even prior to the words I am and the sense of I amness. It's like the eyeball trying to see itself. The eyeball will never see itself. The knife will never cut itself. That's how close the truth is to you. You and truth ultimately are one and the same thing. Just as Nisargadatta's guru told him, you are the absolute supreme reality. And if you can trust the words of Nisargadatta just enough to take the first step, Nisargadatta says all the blessings will follow. If it resonates with you, if the words of Nisargadatta resonate with you, then just simply contemplate them, ponder them. Just remain in the silent, still, affectionate awareness. And the truth will be revealed to you. You cannot escape yourself forever, is what Adyashanti says. At some point, you will realize your true nature. It is inevitable because it's what you are. Truth is here and now. Simply look, simply notice. Awareness of presence, awareness of aliveness, awareness of consciousness, awareness of awareness. Most human beings are conscious, but they're not aware of being conscious. Are you aware here and now? Are you aware of being aware? Stay with this awareness as this awareness. And as Muji says, marinate in the truth. Once you become aware of being aware, rest, stop. Don't seek for something else. Simply melt in this awareness. Marinate, dissolve. Nameless, formless, bodiless awareness. Birthless, deathless awareness. Always present, here and now. Awareness is prior to the body. Awareness is prior to the mind. Prior to all thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Prior to all changing sensations. Prior to the process of birth, life, and death. Awareness is the context for the changing consciousness. And you are that. You are the truth you are seeking. Rumi says, when you discover God, you discover yourself. And when you discover yourself, you discover God. Advaita, not two. One essence. one reality. Variety and difference, but no separation anywhere. No separation anywhere. All is one. One life. Feel that, sense that in every cell and fiber of your being. This is not something just to be thought or believed, but allow that realization to expand and spread everywhere throughout your being, from your head to your toes, sensing the oneness, the unity of all reality, of all creation. Everything is made out of the same one consciousness. There is variety and difference, but no separation. And when this is thoroughly realized, Nisargadatta says, everything becomes lovable and loving. And the awareness is perceived as affectionate awareness. No longer is anything perceived to be outside of yourself or other than your own self. That is love, that unity consciousness, oneness. Sense it in your belly, sense it in your heart. Embody this realization of oneness. Allow the truth to set you free. Allow the energetic contraction of the personal self to let go and let God, to expand. Just notice from this place that everything is happening all by itself. Life is living life. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. There's no one to be. Everything is already complete. Nothing is missing. Everything is already whole. Everything is present. Here and now, the universe is. The totality of everything is present already. Nothing needs to change. Nothing needs to be fixed. This moment is the perfect expression of oneness. Thank you, Nisargadatta Maharaj. Thank you, everybody. See you again for another chapter of I Am That.